Hello and welcome back to the When You're Podcast, the podcast for when you're doing anything. Today we're talking about when you're taking a trip to the dump. Now, just a quick, I had to go to the dump really fast to drop off some garbage because, trash is fun. And so it was a really, surprisingly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I had gone there only once. I had to go there to obviously drop off some more trash, but I had to go over there really quickly to the other day. And as I was doing it, I found that the task was a lot more fun than I had anticipated. I kind of felt like it didn't seem like as much of a hassle as I thought it was going to be. Like I thought I was going to go over there, it was going to be really awful, I was going to have to deal with a bunch of things, but it was actually pretty cool. It was actually quite all right. So to kick things off, I had to go rent a truck. I tried to get one of the U-Haul pickup trucks, like just like a regular truck to put everything in. But the guy who was giving us all the trucks didn't have any of that stuff. He didn't have a regular pickup truck. So what I had to do is I had to get a U-Haul, like just a bigger truck. I had to get a 10-footer with a big box behind me, so that way I could put all of my stuff in there. Now, it was actually pretty great that I got that because I realized I had a lot more stuff, and we ended up filling up that whole truck. So I had to go pick up the truck. And this was my first time renting it out by myself. I had to rent it out. So I had to give the guy my driver's license. This guy was taking, I don't want to say he was taking forever. He's doing his job. But, I just thought it would be like, okay, you want the truck? All right, give me the money. Show me your driver's license. Bing, bang, boom. Take the truck and then head out. But it was like, it was a lot more of a process. And I guess the internet connection for him wasn't working out that well because he was taking forever on his computer. So I get the truck. Now, I'm expecting to have a hard time learning how to operate this vehicle. Like, I know it's just a big car, right, essentially. But I was thinking it was going to be a lot more complicated. And it wasn't. I got to tell you, driving that truck was so much fun. For some reason, I felt like one of those... I used to play this video game that was like these hillbilly truckers. Man, I forget the name of the game. It's just like you... Essentially, all the game is you're a roadside trucker. No, what am I talking about? Roadside. You're just a trucker, and you make money by picking up people, hitchhiking people. You get certain jobs, you make certain money, you buy upgrades to your truck, you get like a 14-wheeler, then you get a 16-wheeler, then you get an 18, you increase every so often, and you drive through the streets crazy. You have to get to your destination within like a certain amount of time, and that's the game overall. You know what I mean? And I kind of got that game stuck in my head a bit. And so as I'm driving the truck, I feel this immense, because I'm used to driving just like a regular car, just a sedan, nothing crazy. So when I get into this truck, I have the significant difference in my, because now I can see over a bunch of cars, and I think it's like the coolest thing. I was just like, whoa, this is nuts. Like everything just seems a lot easier on the road when you can see this high. So as I'm driving, I'm playing some James Brown. I'm just having a good time, dude. I'm just having so much fun driving it. I gotta say, dude, the AC, let me tell you something. A lot of people might complain about the big truck, it makes some noise because of the back or because maybe the latch is loose or whatnot. Let me tell you, dude, the AC in that car, in that truck was phenomenal. The AC in that truck really came through for me because I'm not saying it was especially hot, but when you have to pick up and put garbage in, carry garbage out, right? You can get, work up a bit of a sweat. So the AC definitely came in handy, and I'm thankful for that. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. I was, the truck was running on a little bit more than half a tank of gas. So we were chilling. So we were just using it in the city. It wasn't too crazy, but overall, I found that experience to be very fun. I had a really fun time with it. So the thing about these trucks is they don't give you any rear view mirrors, right? They give you side mirrors, and that's all you need. That's really all you need to operate these things. And they give you 4 different mirrors. So they have a top mirror, that's the big one. That's to really look at your sides. And then they give you a bottom mirror to check out. And that one's a lot smaller. That one's not as big as the rear view. As the side mirror. So the bottom side mirror actually comes in handy quite a lot because it gives you like a different perspective, a different angle that really helps you to clarify, oh, okay, I need to move over a little bit more to the left, or there's some car coming next to me. Helps out a lot. So, and I found myself quite a few times looking up to like see the rear view to see if like there's cars behind me, and then I'm like, oh yeah, there is no rear view mirror. So then I'm like, all right, I had to. Naturally, my body got used to looking side to side. So then when I got to a regular car, I'm looking side to side. And I'm like, oh yeah, I had the rear view mirror. You know, it was just a funny adjustment that I caught myself doing. And I actually like that a lot. I because when you're in a truck that big, you don't need to see behind you. You just need to see. You listen. You don't ever need to look behind you when you're driving. Most of the time, right? Unless you pass someone or there's a police officer. But I guess I don't know. All I'm trying to say is that when you're in a truck that big, you don't need to see what's coming behind you. You just need to see what's in front of you and what's on the side of you. Okay, that's all that matters. So I had to load it up with garbage. So I had to pick up like these big rolls. I don't even know what they were. They were just like these. Imagine like 102. No. Imagine like the biggest fruit roll up you've ever had in your life, right? And then you have to pick that up and you have to toss it into the back of the truck. So we do all the heavy stuff first. Then we have to do a bunch of lumber, metal, and then after that, it was actually pretty light. We had some styrofoam and then like little lights and stuff with glass on it. So we just had to pack all of that in there. Once we pack all of it in there, we take it out. We take it to the dump. So overall, it was a lot. I'll say this. The most difficult part was putting everything into the van. So it wasn't getting everything out. That was the problem. It was putting everything into the truck. I mean, not the van, into the truck. So loading it up, that's the hard part. Getting it out, that's easy money all day long. So I'm driving to the dump. And as I'm having a blast driving to the dump. Now, a lot of people can't say that, but I can say that. I can definitively say that I had a great time driving to the dump. So I'm driving to the dump. And I'm on the road, and the road is, it's moderately bumpy, but because I'm in this big truck, it's just, you're constantly bouncing, you're constantly shaking, you're constantly like moving. And I don't know, I'm not going to say it was annoying, you know what I mean? But it definitely was like, all right, enough with the jumping. Like, let's just get to smooth road here. You know what I mean? So it might say more about my, the road service in my city than it does about the truck. So I get there. And as I'm getting there, I realize I missed the exit. So now I'm like, oh, snap, because I had it on my GPS, and the GPS told me to keep going straight. But actually, I needed to just make the next right. So I missed the entrance from my truck. I'm like, oh, no. So now I'm like, okay, don't worry about it. Just make a quick U-turn. And you'll be there in no time. But because my truck is so big and the street, there's only two ways on the street, so there's only the lane I'm in and the other lane. So there's only 2 lanes, okay? So I have to I have to move quick. And then I don't realize it, but at the time a car is coming towards me. So if I don't make the U-turn quick, so now I'm like forward, back, forward, back, forward, back with all this stuff in the back, and I'm just like constantly trying to move as quickly as possible. And then eventually I make it, and I get in front of the car just in the nick of time, like not so far out that it's like I was chilling, but enough where the other car was coming close enough where I could make it, and they could drive comfortably as well. You know what I mean? Just that sweet spot of they're not too close where they had to stop or slow down, but they're also not far enough away that I could just chill on the U-turn, if that makes sense. So there I am. I'm at the dump, and I show up to the place. And now when I show up, I have to go on the scale so that way they can weigh. They have to weigh how much. Okay, hold on. I get there, and there's 2 lanes. There's like a regular stop sign, and then there's a scale on the right. I have to go to the scale first. When I get to the scale, I get out of the truck, and I talk to the guy, because I'm expecting him to ask, yeah, let me see what you have. You know, I'm expecting him to come out and be like, I have to inspect the back of your truck or what you're hauling in. Because, I could have nuclear waste back there. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know what I do. So but he stays inside. He's chill. He's not doing anything. And he just asks. He's like, do you have any mattresses back there? I was like, no mattress. I don't know how often people bring mattresses there. But he was like, yo, do you have any mattresses in there? I was like, no mattresses. And then he was like, okay, do you have any tires in there? I was like, no tires. He was like, all right, man, you're good to go. Just dump it off and then come back, and then, you'll have to pay your however much it was. So I go over there, and immediately I try to go to the spot where I dumped my trash last time. So I tried to go to that spot, but that spot is kind of taken by the workers. So I'm like, oh, snap, no. So because of that, I had to find a different spot, but nobody's like directing me. Nobody's guiding me. So now I'm starting to like, okay, what do I do? And what ended up happening was one of them guided us and directed us. And then I had to reverse it. I had to back it on up, back it on up, back it on up, back it on up. And eventually we got there. And then the next thing you know, we open the back of the truck and we start pulling everything out. There's broken glass everywhere from the lights because it doesn't travel well. Lights, glass and lights and all those other stuff does not travel well in that truck. So I have to get all of that stuff out. And then I had to kind of like sweep it so that way we could return it without, glass being shattered on the inside, I guess. So we take that. And we just dump everything in. All those fruit roll-ups, all of those, those huge rolls, we just throw them to the end. I catch them, and then I put it away. Throw, roll, catch. Throw, roll, catch, throw. You know what I mean? It was just a simple roll. They rolled it to me. Then I catch it. Then I throw it into the waste pile. And then we had to separate some of the metal stuff so that way they could put it in a separate place. They could put it in a separate bin where it's supposed to be with all the other metal stuff. And then all the glass and whatnot, just kind of, we put it into like all the little pieces of glass that maybe were a hassle. We just kind of scooped that up and then put it into a box that we had in there. We had a few boxes that we could just put it up and then throw it out in there. So after that, we're like, yo, we did it. Peace up. And then we get into the truck again. We close it up. And now I'm no longer, I feel no longer the constraints or the bindings of the garbage, of the trash. There's no more trash in the truck. So now I can cruise freely. I can speed up a little bit more because my first time driving the thing, I was a little cautious. It was cool, but I was cautious. I never wanted to take any risks. Don't go, don't take any risks you don't have to. So I was like, hey, take it easy, relax. And I especially felt that driving with the trash in there, because I didn't want to break any of the glass, but it was inevitable, and things happen. So anyways, now I'm driving back through, and I get onto the scale, and then I show up to the window, and the person who's supposed to be helping me, she's on her phone. She's like playing, Candy Crush or something. I don't know what she's doing, but she's on her phone. And then as soon as I get out, that's when she's like, all right, what's up? She starts doing all the paperwork for me. She gives me the receipt, the bill, whatever. And then I'm good to go. I'm clear. I'm ready. So after that, I'm free. And I start jamming, dude. I start having a good time. And I'm like, this truck, man, the truck was so cool. The truck was, it was definitely the highlight of my day. So now I'm leaving the dump, and then I have to go return it. And that was such a, it was a different kind of problem that I didn't have the first time. The first time when I went to go get the truck, it was so simple because I was the first one there. But dropping it off, I had to return the key to the guy, but there was some other lady in front of me. Now, as soon as I get there, right, I made the mistake of going to a light because I thought I could just do a U-turn, but because I'm in the truck, I would have to do the U-turn, but then I'd have to do a reverse because I wouldn't be able to make it through the sidewalk. So I was like, oh no, this is a terrible idea. So instead instead of doing a U-turn, I'd take a left, and then I had to do a U-turn later on when there's no like cars behind me. So eventually I get to the spot to return the truck. And as I get there, there's a lady in front of me. Now this lady, let me tell you, dude, this lady, I don't know what she was talking about. I don't really care all that much, and I don't even think she saw. I think she saw me, but I want to give her some. I want to be nice here and say she didn't see me, so she thought she was all by herself there. But she's complaining to the guy like crazy. She's like talking about all of this different stuff. I don't even know what she's doing really, but she's just talking about random stuff. She's like chatting about old times, and I was like, do they even know each other? And the guy's he's hitting her with the, damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Damn. Wow. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. That's crazy. He's hitting her with that. He's giving her like trying to end the conversation, but she keeps on complaining and whining about some thing. I don't even know what she was talking about. I just felt like it didn't really make any sense. So I was like, oh my goodness, I'm never going to get out of here. I'm never going to be free. So I'm waiting there. And finally, she runs out of breath. And she's like, all right, well, thank you so much. I'm going to get out of your hair. She walks away. As she turns around, she sees me. Now, I see the guy, and the guy notices me because I was there earlier. So then I go up to him, and I'm like, I'm just here to return the key. He's like, awesome, great, man. How'd the truck work? I was like, the truck was awesome, dude. I love that truck, bro. That was the best. That was the best thing that was the highlight of my day, my week, really. And he was just like, all right, sweet. No problems. I was like, no problems, dude. And I put it in the spot. I put it where you need me to put it. And he was like, sweet, man, thanks so much. And then he was like, take care. I was like, yeah, later. And that was it. That's all I needed to do. And this lady took like 5-10 minutes talking about some like her personal like vendettas against the world. Like I don't like it when it's like I have 2-minute interaction, or not even 2 minutes, 1 minute interaction versus a whole 5 to 10 minute conversation about nothing. Like I could have just thrown him the keys and been like, yeah, I returned it. I'll be back. Like I should have just interrupted her. I should have been like, hey lady, shut up. Here's the key, man. Take care. You know what I mean? Like that could have been the whole thing, but obviously I have to be polite to strangers. I have to be polite to women. So that was basically my highlight of now. I mean, I got to tell you, there was something special about that truck. There was something special about that day. When those you really don't have like your day planned, or you don't even like, I mean, you kind of do, right? But you know how you're like, you feel indifferent about the day. You wake up and you're just kind of like, all right, I have to do this stuff. But you're kind of like, once I get that done, we'll see where we are in the rest of the day. You know what I mean? You don't have a specific attachment or a specific emotional feel of the day. Like, you don't wake up and you go like, yeah, today today's going to be so exciting and so great. I mean, maybe you do. And maybe that's a good way to live your life. Maybe that's positive. But sometimes when I wake up, dude, I wake up and I'm just like, yeah, man, it's just another day of breathing. Just another day of same old, same old. But on this particular day, it just so happened that the greatest thing ever. I mean, my mood completely changed as soon as I got in that truck. It was just so fun to be in there. It was just so cool. It felt right. I felt good. So, overall, when you're taking a trip to the dump, get that U-Haul truck. Get that 10-footer U-Haul truck for all of your garbage, even if it's just, even if it's just like the smallest thing, I guess. I was trying to think of something like that you take to the dump often, like maybe like wood, or I guess you don't need to go to the dump for that. But anyways, when you're taking a trip to the dump, get that U-Haul truck, blast the AC, get some good vibes going. Be aware of your surroundings and check your side mirrors. There's no rear view mirror. Just be aware that when you're loading the truck, that's going to be the hardest part. But when you're emptying it, that's going to be simple. That's going to be a breeze. And yeah, just have a good time with that. Just enjoy it for what it is. Don't think of it as like a hassle, or don't be like, I wish I could just drive my car. No, dude, appreciate the truck, because that truck is magical. So overall, when you're taking a trip to the dump, just get that U-Haul truck and love it, because it is awesome. It's pretty cool. So thank you guys so much for listening. I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you.